Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This week we've got something a little bit different. So we'll start with a quick update. We've applied for building permits to start building our home, and we've come across our first major obstacle. Basically our land is in this entire area which is a fire risk. And the law in Portugal says that if your land is in a high fire risk zone, you can't get planning permission, called a habitational license. Our land is all pine forest, and you can see it in the distance over there, that whole area. The land neighboring us is all eucalyptus plantation, and we've got a few eucalyptus trees in our land as well. And then interspersed between all of that, we have this plant, which the locals call estava, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And it's growing all across the land, as you can see. Now, it's highly flammable, and all of these plants burn for a long time. This whole area is designated as a fire risk, but if you see the land behind our neighbors, you can see that all of his land is completely clear. And so it's not just about what plants you have growing. So that's why we came up with this idea. Instead of trying to fight the municipality, before we do anything else, we want to approach the authorities and actually offer them a different plan. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. What on earth happened for the past 2 months? No videos? So there's a lot that's been happening here, a lot that we have to update. But this video was already made, and that's why we're releasing it now. And the next video, I promise we're going to update about everything that's been going on and why we disappeared for so long, and the fact that we're back now. So stay tuned for more. So the first part of the plan, it deals with the border surrounding our land. And so right now the law in Portugal is that everyone has to clear the land, or they can actually get fined. We've based the border, what we want to do around the land, on the Portuguese law. So here you can see the border of our land. If we look over there, that's literally the path that separates the neighbors from our part. And here is the pine forest, and you can see from this way down, it's just pine, and then that estava all through, just waiting to get lit. The idea is over here to cut back 10 meters, that's all of the pines, into the land, and from those 10 meters we want to save 6 meters that are clear to prevent the fire from spreading, and then the next layer after that will be a channel where it will have water flowing through, and then after that we're going to have fire resistant plants. And so that's the first part of the plan. The second part of our plan speaks directly to the area around the house. Firstly, we're going to clear the area. We're going to have a draining channel, and that way it'll increase the moisture around that area. We will also, because of the rainwater, we'll have a tank, a closed tank with water in case of an emergency that we can use to put out any fires in the area. We will have some water reservoir, probably a small pond near the house as well, which we'll use for a multitude of different things, but in case of emergency it can be drained to use to fight the fires. And around the house we're going to have a garden with different species, among which we'll have a lot of fire-resistant species planted to further aid in case of an emergency. The third part of the plan talks about water management. All of the water that comes onto the land right now, some of it gets soaked in, but most of it drains off into this riverbed. There's a little channel over there that goes all the way, cutting through the land, and it just carries on that path all the way down. The idea is, in order to minimize the fire risk, we want to hold as much water as we can above and below the ground. Above ground, different water bodies, a dam, a pond. We want to have those strategically placed around the land so that they can hold water, preferably at a high point. And we want to have them for two reasons. First, so that they can actually seep water back into the ground. And secondly, if there is a case of a fire, we have water reservoirs and have excess water that we can use for emergencies. Below level, we want to slow the water traveling on the land, having swales or channels that take water from a high point, and instead of traveling downhill, you try and travel 90-degree angle so that all of that path it's allowed to seep back in, and much more of it can be held in the ground. So thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, and if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell button. It really helps us as a channel to keep making these videos. And stay tuned for more as we develop the land here and you can see what happens. Thanks very much.